This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
No route, no money, no First Nation support.
Tonight, a landmark deal between Alberta and Ottawa and a reaction to the announcement, paving the way for a pipeline in BC. Also,
it sounded like a dirt bike in our hallway. Super loud, very scary.
A plane crash on the Mid-Island, leaving one person dead, narrowly missing homes and leaving a large field of debris. Plus, Adam finds out how a student cycling on one wheel learned multiple ways to spread joy on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with opposition from coastal First Nations and environmentalists over a new landmark energy deal. It was signed between Canada's Prime Minister and the Alberta Premier, opening the door to more than doubling oil exports to Asian markets and bringing a new pipeline to BC's coast. CTV's Yvonne Raymond shows us some of the partners encouraged at the table are already saying no.
First Nation territories on Vancouver Island and BC's coast say a new energy deal between the Canadian and Alberta governments goes against their way of life.
We are not interested in being equity partners in a project that has the potential to destroy everything that we have built.
It's really unbelievable that we are still in the same place fighting oil and gas in the fight of climate change.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith signed the document in Calgary. A key priority paves the way for a pipeline to BC so the country can export to Asian markets.
That's going to make Canada stronger, more independent, more resilient, more sustainable, because the way we're going to do that is in combination with the Pathways project, which will be the largest carbon capture project in the world.
This is a really great day for Albertans. We have been working for some time on addressing the 9 bad laws, as I like to call them, that have been impacting our investment climate here, and I'm pleased that we've reached an agreement to substantially work on removing and revising those laws.
BC was left out, and the Premier points to challenges ahead.
We need to make sure that this project doesn't become an energy vampire with all of the variables that have yet to be fulfilled. No proponent, no route, no money, no First Nation support.
A recent survey suggests public opinion in BC lends support, with 56% in favor.
I want to thank Prime Minister Carney for stepping up to the plate and recognizing that we need to move Canadian oil to international markets.
If Alberta can submit a plan by July 1st and conditions are met, the federal government could make an exemption to a ban on oil tankers on the coast.
We will use every tool in our toolbox to ensure that this pipeline does not go ahead.
Heiltsuk Tribal Council says it's been through a spill in 2016 when a tugboat ran aground and still lives with the effects from it today. Yvonne Raymond, CTV News.
A small plane crash meters away from 2 homes near Nanaimo early this morning has left one person dead. It happened around 3 a.m. A Cessna 172 went down in a rural area near Twilight Way in southeast Nanaimo, about 8 kilometers from the airport. The plane belonged to Sealand Flight School in Campbell River. The pilot was on a private flight when it crashed. A company spokesperson says they are devastated and their hearts go out to the family, but did not provide more details. Nanaimo RCMP received reports of a low-flying plane and then a crash.
So they reported that a plane was flying very low overhead and then a crash. So it took the police about an hour to find the wreckage location. They did, and there was one person deceased, and right now it is a coroner's investigation.
The crash site wasn't far from several homes in the area. One witness who lives 2 houses over says the sound woke her up.
It sounded like a dirt bike in our hallway. Super loud, very scary. I mean, a few hundred feet to the right and it would have been on our ceiling, so very scary.
The vice president of the Nanaimo airport says it is cooperating with investigators. The Transportation Safety Board says it is aware of the crash and is gathering information on the incident. The district of Oak Bay has gotten a bit of a rap when it comes to a certain type of development, consistently finding itself on the province's naughty list for missing housing targets. Well, that could change because a monster development is being discussed that could add thousands of homes to the small municipality. The CTV's Brendan Strain shows us it's proposed for lands owned by the University of Victoria.
There's definitely excitement in the air.
Mike Kozakowski is the founder of Citified.ca, a website dedicated to all things development related in the capital region. He was recently contacted by a neighbor of this 40-acre parcel of land owned by the University of Victoria in Oak Bay.
UVic has apparently spoken with the district about accommodating its housing capacity targets through the next 20 years.
This is very early in the process.
The mayor of Oak Bay says the rumors are true and that the university is very interested in turning this vacant land that was once used as a dog park into a development site. If the project was to move forward, there could potentially be thousands of units of housing built on the site.
And what they're talking about is a mixed-use development,
encompassing both commercial and residential real estate. For Oak Bay, that has consistently found itself on the province's housing target naughty list, the district has 20 years to approve and build out 3,761 units of housing. This development would have the potential of meeting that requirement on its own.
Any significant development would make a big dent in that target.
Municipalities across BC have had a hard time meeting those provincial targets, while also being able to afford the building out of the expensive infrastructure like sewers, roads, and storm drains. Kozakowski says this potential development makes sense for that reason.
If you can centralize the new housing, it just makes it far, far more feasible.
UVic says it's exploring the site's capacity to support a vibrant, mixed-use neighborhood with predominantly mid-rise buildings up to 6 stories, with support for high-rise buildings as well.
Similar to what's been done in pockets at Simon Fraser University and University of British Columbia.
The project is a long way from becoming a reality. Next, UVic will have to work with Oak Bay to develop a master plan for the site. Then rezoning would need to be granted, all before shovels were to hit the ground. Kozakowski believes the development will happen.
How many units remains to be seen. The makeup of the community, whether it's offices and retail and shopping, that also remains to be seen. Something will happen.
Brendan Strain, CTV News, Oak Bay.
The RCMP have arrested more people at a logging blockade on southern Vancouver Island. 7 people have now been arrested, 1 for criminal mischief, 6 for breaching a court-ordered injunction. That injunction prohibits people from obstructing the area in the Walbran Valley about an hour-and-a-half southwest of Lake Cowichan. Blockaders reoccupied a camp after enforcement began Tuesday. As of early this afternoon, one of the blockaders tells us police are not there today. Communities on Vancouver Island's West Shore are taking big steps to expand the RCMP detachment they share. The city of Langford says the detachment was built in the 60s, then expanded in the 90s, and it's too small to adequately address public safety needs in the growing communities it serves. The property is co-owned by Langford, Colwood, and View Royal. The Capital Regional District's board has approved the borrowing of $103 million for construction on behalf of the 3 communities.
People have to remember that we don't really have a choice on this. This is part of the contract with the province, and if for some reason a municipality said no, the province can come in and say, this is, you're doing it anyway. So that's why we're working well together to build a solid new station.
In January, reports about the project will come to each of the 3 councils to determine whether it will proceed. Saanich police are increasing foot patrols in the Uptown and Douglas area as that area continues to grow. The Midtown Task Force project will see more uniformed police officers on foot patrol in an effort to increase visibility, deter crime, and proactively address community concerns. The project is funded through a grant from the Ministry of Public Safety and Solicitor General. The Uptown Douglas plan was adopted by Saanich Council in 2022. It focuses on adding housing and economic vibrancy to the area. Victoria City Council is taking in what is said to be the final design for the new and improved Centennial Square. The space next to City Hall is currently getting dressed up for the holidays. Most times it's not quite the hub of activity Council wants it to be. The design to upgrade it has been modified over the years. Its latest form includes a water feature, a play area, new trees and foliage, and a space to host events for roughly 500 people. The design resolves community concerns from previous iterations, turning a splash pad into a more modest fountain and ensuring the square's sequoia tree stays.
We've landed in a good place, and I think that this design will build consensus in the community. And I think the next week will be interesting because I think we'll probably get a lot of support for the project now because I think we've listened to the community and dealt with some of the more objectionable aspects of the project. And I think those objectionable aspects prevented the community from having a really good debate about getting excited about what the square could become.
The plan is to move the monoliths in the center of the space elsewhere in the square down the line. Next week, council is debating whether to move ahead with the project. If approved, its anticipated construction will take a year and the project will wrap in early 2027. A staple Victoria-based grocer has been sold and is transitioning to an employee-based ownership model. Victoria's 2 root cellar locations are being sold to Team Shares Canada. That's a company that will introduce a long-term employee ownership model starting immediately. Daisy and Adam Orser started the company over 18 years ago while raising their 3 children. Now they say they're ready to kick up their feet. The 2 stores employ over 200 people. The first one opened on Mackenzie Avenue in 2008. The second location in Victoria's Cook Street Village opened in 2021. Losing the bang, but keeping the dazzling display of light.
We're going to showcase Festival of Lights and our community and, of course, Christmas.
Coming up, Ladysmith turns to 300 drones in the sky to ring in the holiday season.
We've had some showers in through the Victoria area. That's still the case, as you can see right now, as you look through the lens of the Skycam. 8 degrees currently in Victoria. Should see a bit of a break and some sunshine poking through the clouds tomorrow. All those details right after the break.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises, customizing dream vacations with unbelievable value. Call or learn more at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
Well, Josh, it is November in BC, so it just kind of feels gloomy.
Par for the course, right? Par for the course. We will see some sunny breaks, it looks like, tomorrow across most of the island, and then some scattered showers will return for Saturday. Get to that in a moment. It's 8 degrees in Victoria with fairly light wind, 6 to 8 from Comox up through Port Hardy. Tofino's in double digits, though. A little breezier there, 15 to 20 kilometer per hour wind, but 11 degrees. You get this big area of low pressure off to the south. That's been driving these showers north across parts of the island, mainly from Port Alberni and Nanaimo south. So you're still dealing with some showers in and around the Victoria area, but I think as we head through this evening, this is all going to slide off to the east and southeast, and so things will dry up by mid to late this evening. And look, further north, you've got some clearing. That clear sky takes over across the island through the first half of the day tomorrow, and then a bit of increased cloud cover through the afternoon hours, although no worse than partly cloudy in Victoria. Further north, you'll be looking at mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Here comes the next system. This will start to bring some showers to northern and western parts of the island by Saturday morning, and then that slowly drops off to the south. So by the afternoon hours on Saturday, chance of some scattered showers in and around Victoria. In the north, 7 degrees tomorrow, sunshine in the morning, increasing cloud through the afternoon. 6s for Saturday, Sunday, chance of morning showers on Saturday, and then a break in the afternoon. Steadier rain in the forecast for the back half of the weekend, though, on Sunday. 6 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud for inland areas. 5 degrees and a few scattered showers on Saturday, especially midday into the early afternoon hours. 5 degrees again on Sunday. It looks drier for Sunday, and then a chance of scattered showers on Monday. Out along the west coast, 11 degrees again tomorrow. Partly cloudy. Some showers on Saturday, high of 8. Those showers will start further north and then gradually move south along the west coast as the day progresses. 9 and mostly cloudy on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday also in that 9-degree range with some wet weather for Monday. In Comox, 7 and partly cloudy tomorrow. The wind doesn't look like it's going to be all that bad either. Should be about 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. 6s for Saturday, Sunday. We'll call it a mostly cloudy day Saturday with a chance of a few showers. No heavy, steady rain, though. And then Sunday should be dry with a mix of sun and cloud. In Nanaimo, partly cloudy, 9 degrees tomorrow. That's a couple of degrees above average. 7 and 6 for Saturday, Sunday. Chance of a scattered shower in the afternoon hours on Saturday. Mixed sun and cloud for Sunday. And in Victoria, a little breezy. Wind to be gusting to about 30 or 40 kilometers per hour. Partly cloudy skies. High of 11 tomorrow. But with the chance of afternoon showers on Saturday, 8 degrees. Slight chance of a shower again on Sunday with a mixed sun and cloud and a high of 7. CTV weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So not so gloomy tomorrow, Nafisa.
Yeah, a great way to end the week. Thanks, Josh. Well, BC conservation officers are still searching for a grizzly bear that attacked school children and a teacher last week in Bella Coola. The school has now fully reopened with additional safety measures in place. Officials say 2 grizzlies were captured earlier this week, but they can't be conclusively linked to the attack. Those bears are being fitted with tracking collars and relocated. An adult grizzly and her 2 cubs are believed to have been involved in last Thursday's attack, which badly injured 3 children and a teacher. A happy update to tell you about now. An owl found injured on the North Island has recovered and been released back into the wild. George, the barred owl, is officially back in the sky after suffering from an inflamed spine. He was found back in September by Dashwood Fire Captain Willow Bloomquist after he hit her car mirror. She took the bird to the North Island Wildlife Recovery Center, where it received months of dedicated daily care. Well, an annual island tradition that dazzles the night sky with bright holiday lights is back. And this year, the Ladysmith light up comes with a twist on the finale, rooted in technology. CTV's Andy Garland has more.
Tonight, an estimated 300,000 to 400,000 lights will light up Ladysmith's First Avenue for the 38th Festival of Lights.
We do about 5,000 volunteer hours throughout the year.
Last year was the first time the festival didn't have fireworks to end the night.
It was a lot of people were upset.
So this year, they're doing something different, something that's rarely been seen on Vancouver Island.
This is the first year and Ladysmith's first ever drone show.
Sponsored by the Ladysmith and District Credit Union, 300 drones will take to the sky, putting on an aerial display of light and sound.
Had an opportunity to see the computer simulation, and we're really excited that it's really going to showcase Festival of Lights and our community, and of course, Christmas.
Pixel Sky Animations out of Vancouver will be putting on the drone show, and they see festivals like Light Up turn to drones as an alternative to fireworks for several reasons.
There's been a lot of concerns with forest fires or loud sounds for animals and post-traumatic stress disorder.
Light Up saw approximately 15,000 to 20,000 people last year, and it's expected to grow this year due to the excitement.
With the phone calls we're getting because of the drone show, we're probably going to be 20,000 to 25,000, which is a lot for our little town to take.
And if it rains, it shouldn't rain on the drone parade.
Just so long as there's not any heavy wind and temperatures are normal for this time of year. So the drone show is a go.
The drone show will take to the Ladysmith sky around 8:30 tonight. Andy Garland, CTV News, Ladysmith.
Finally tonight, the Unicycle Man. Adam finds out the connection between Billy Joel and this multitasking student. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Finally, Adam finds out how a student cycling on one wheel learned multiple ways to spread joy on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Before he learned how to juggle things in the air, Arlo Watts had to develop the patience to keep picking them up off the ground.
I like to say that juggling just means dropping things over and over again.
But after months of practice and perseverance, Arlo got it.
Once you feel like you have a rhythm, then it's really exciting, and immediately you start to think of what the next thing is.
That turned out to be the unicycle, which Arlo taught himself how to ride after moving away to university.
I find that in computer science, I often don't have to leave the house if I don't want to. I don't have to go outside.
But when you're a unicyclist, you do. So Arlo started riding around to maintain his physical fitness before adding juggling to the exercise to challenge himself mentally.
Because normally when you're riding the unicycle, you use your arms for balance. But when you're juggling, suddenly your hands have to go all over the place to catch whatever it is that you're juggling.
It's hard. So sometimes Arlo takes it easy by grabbing his Rubik's Cube, donning a clown nose just for fun, and riding his unicycle, all the while solving that puzzle, which he can consistently do in less than a minute.
I get a lot of satisfaction from working hard on something and then succeeding at it.
While finding personal satisfaction is important, Arlo has learned, so is inspiring positivity in others.
What I really want is to get people to see something they've never seen before.
So whenever it seems like we're all in the mood for a melody, this unicycle man tries to get us feeling all right.
Take a break from being stressed for a moment. Take a minute to smile and think about all of the weird and wonderful things that are possible.
Adam Swatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
What can't he do? Well, that is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you for joining us. Good night.